Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, August 18th, 2018. We have a few fire potential impacts to talk about for the next couple of days. Mainly for today, we're looking at increased northwest winds, especially over southern Idaho and into northern and northeast Utah today, behind yesterday's cold front. And we'll also expect to see some lingering mix of wet and dry thunderstorms over western Wyoming and southeast Utah. For tomorrow, we're looking at a fairly benign day with sunny skies and light winds. And then by Monday, we'll see strong winds return to much of the geographic area with showers and thunderstorms coming back into the forecast for Idaho and northern Utah. Yesterday was a very active day with showers and thunderstorms across much of the geographic area. We saw a number of thunderstorm cells move through Idaho, some of them on the dry side, particularly across southwest Idaho. And a few areas in northern Idaho produced a little bit more precipitation there. And then also on that triple point between Utah, Nevada, and Idaho. Many of the storms in Utah were also a mix of wet and dry. This has resulted in quite a bit of new initial attack across the geographic area, especially over Idaho and northern Utah and northern Nevada, with a few new large fires. There is one fire in northern Nevada that's over 10,000 acres this morning. ERCs shown here are reflective of the observations yesterday, which came in at 1300, and we know we did receive precipitation in many of these areas after 1300, and so we'll expect to see these values continue to go down on today's observation. Some of the values across the north have already started to come down with some of the moisture that moved up there earlier in the day yesterday. For Utah, however, those values are still pretty high, but we'll see those values coming down today and for the next couple of days probably. This morning's satellite imagery shows that trough of low pressure moving off to the east and taking all of the moisture with it. We'll just see a few lingering showers and thunderstorms across the far eastern fringe of the geographic area today, with that trough just leaving slightly cooler northwest flow in its wake. High-risk triggers have been issued for southern Idaho, northeast Nevada, and northern Utah for these gusty and dry winds today. Shown here, the strongest winds will occur over eastern Utah and south central Idaho. Minimum relative humidities are really quite low, especially over Nevada and portions of far southwest Idaho and western Utah. On Sunday, the ridge begins to rebuild over the Great Basin for generally sunny skies and light winds. Here again, looking at very light winds, except maybe over far western Nevada, where the typical gustier afternoon winds will pick up there along the Sierra front. And minimum relative humidities remain in the single digits for much of Nevada and pretty low over Utah and southwest Idaho as well. On Monday, a little trough of low pressure drops back into the Pacific Northwest, bringing some moisture with it, which will kick off some thunderstorms over Idaho and northern Utah. And we're also seeing some gusty southwest winds out ahead of this trough in western and northeast Nevada and up into southwest Idaho. Here's a closer look at some of those gusty winds and where we'll expect to see them on Monday. Should be a fairly gusty day across much of the geographic area, with the precipitation moving into the mountains of central Idaho and possibly northern Utah. 3-day precipitation accumulations are shown here, with that next little band of showers moving in on Monday to the central Idaho mountains and across northern Utah. On Tuesday, we'll see an influx of southerly moisture move up into the southern Great Basin, particularly central and southern Utah and southeast Nevada. Some of the moisture may linger on Wednesday with the high pressure building over the geographic area. And more of the same is expected on Thursday with drier conditions across the north and those daily afternoon thunderstorms across the south. And the trend continues into Friday. The 7-day precip totals are shown here, and we can see as we get into that southerly moisture feed across Utah and southeast Nevada, we'll see the precipitation totals increasing there, especially over the higher elevations. And Idaho and northern Nevada will stay on the dry side, especially after that little bit of moisture that comes through Idaho on Monday. It'll dry out through the remainder of the work week next week. The extended forecast for August 25th through the 31st is calling for below normal temperatures over the northern Rockies, with below normal chances for precipitation across the geographic area. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.